Bubby, and he's not. That's Tom Meyer. He's my fabulous designer. We both cook together so much. He helped me build my outdoor barbecue. Not barbecue, but my outdoor backyard. And he is here to joining me today to help cook. Here, I'll move over so you can get
There we go.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better, so that we can cook together. Hello, darling.
My dog.
And hello to all of you. And so happy that you're here to join us. So we cooked together for Super Bowl, which was so fun. And he brought in something called Gypsy Stew, which, by the way, is this plugged in?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
You can't work if you're not plugged in. Anyway, and so it was so delicious. And because we've been on a juice cleanse and a soup cleanse, as you know, since we made that yesterday, the best way I know to come off a cleanse is to ease into a very light way of eating. And so tomorrow night, I am planning a grilled salmon, which we're going to make out on the griddle, which
Beautiful.
Can I tell you, since I got the griddle and putting the salmon on there, it's absolutely fantastic.
Sounds delicious, yeah.
And this vegan soup. So,
Great.
yeah.
Wonderful.
So tell me, give us a history of how this soup came to you.
It came to me through a client when I was working in Palm Beach, Florida.
Oh my gosh.
And she invited myself and a friend over for dinner, and she had this made, and we just fell in love with it instantly because it's just so hearty and wonderful. But the fact that it is vegan and it's also vegetarian is even better, you know?
Yes.
Adds another level to it.
It is. And also what I found very interesting is like, hey, Cynthia, how are you? So glad that you're here. You're driving, but you're here, so you can hear us, may not be able to see us. But one of the things that, having just listened to a nutritionist whose name is Ariane Resnick, who recently said that it is a natural physical response to stressful situations to crave comfort food.
Right.
And when you think of vegan eating, we don't always think of that as comfort food.
No.
But having eaten this on Super Bowl Sunday, where if you had bet on Kansas City, hey Andy, so happy you're joining us. Oh good, you're gonna love this soup, Andy. If you'd bet on Kansas City, you definitely needed comfort food, right?
Right.
Yes. And it was delicious. It was delicious whether it was comfort or not. And I really wanted to make it for you, so I invited Tom here today to grow, cook, and gather with me here at 3 p.m. where we're live for all of you. So how do we start? You tell me, you teach me how to make this.
Okay, well, we start with, in the saucepan, we're going to saute up first vegetables, which in the garlic, the celery, and sweet potatoes, which
Okay.
is right to your
Left. Okay, so here is the sweet potatoes. These are fresh sweet potatoes. We peeled them and we chopped them ourselves.
I'd like to start, if you don't mind, with the
celery.
onions
Oh, with the onions, okay.
and celery, and then we'll put the garlic in right at the last, right?
Yes.
Get those all nice
okay,
and...
so this
Yep.
is 2 cups of white onion. Here is the celery.
Yep.
That doesn't look like much celery.
I know.
But
It's
it
interesting,
is, huh?
yeah. Yep.
So it's a cup of celery, all right? And let's heat this up because we don't want, let me get,
Don't
this
wanna
is
burn the
really,
garlic.
this is great. Here, step in.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is great because as I step away to get the wooden spoon, hey Lynn, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Hey Heather, Heather's here.
Hi, Heather.
Lynn Tulloch. Lynn, you're brand new, happy to have you. Thanks for being here. So you can talk while I go get the wooden spoon.
Okay. I just like to do it this way because it gets
That's enough, I'm back.
Okay. Ow! I do like to do it this way just because I like to get all of this kind of just cooked up slightly before I put in the sweet potatoes.
Right.
And I always put the garlic in last because I don't want to burn the garlic either.
Exactly. That's an Ina tip, right? Is
Yep.
that you always want to put your garlic in last.
That's
because
where our friendship actually started because of the fact that we're both lovers of Ina Garten.
That is so true. That is
it's
so very true. I love that. Okay. So Tom is here. Boy, we've got a lot of people watching today.
Wow.
My mom is here. And Lynn, it keeps telling me you're here. I don't know if you keep dumping off or coming back, but it's told me you're here. Lynn Tulloch is here about 5 times. So happy to see you. Thank you. And it said it again. There's 5 times of Lynn being here. Okay. We turn this up. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Bump.
Just slug him in the stomach here.
She's not used to having a sidekick.
I'm not. So one of the things that we just learned from a good friend of ours, from Brenda, is that garlic is something that has a lot of very good properties for your heart and for your internal system in terms of immunity goes. But when you chop it at first, it actually loses some of that flavor. So if you will let it sit and get into the air, the properties of the garlic come back.
She said about 10 minutes, right?
Yep, and it has been sitting for about 10 minutes, which is great. And she said that this tip came out of a book called Eating on the Wild Side, which I love that idea.
Yeah.
Like blueberries or raspberries or garlic on the wild side. My mom says hi, Marlon. Tom, hi, Mom.
Hi.
And the author of that book was Joe Robinson. So if you're interested in looking, let me tilt you down here. So I want you to, hey Doug, there you are. Doug is one of our prime men. Doug watches every single,
Good for you, Doug.
yeah, he's great. He's here every single day just about. So you kind of have to sneak in a little bit.
I'll sneak in.
And
now.
you have to bend your knees because like it gets me from here down, but
We'll be okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we're just sauteing this and we're softening it. And sometimes I have found that if you're in a hurry to soften things, because sometimes when I'm working with everybody here, hey Angel, my contractor showed up at 3:15 in the afternoon finally to do the work that I thought he was coming at 7 o'clock to do, but I'm not complaining. Okay, so as I put in a little bit of stock, because not only does that help it, unless you want it to be brown.
We want it to be a little bit on the brown side.
Okay.
Plus, we want to also not steam that. We want to cook it and saute it with
Okay.
the sweet potatoes, is what we're
Okay.
talking about now.
So we're gonna have to talk quite a bit, and we're gonna have all of you ask lots of questions, because we are going to have to cook this for quite a while. So we're all gonna be here for about 30 to 45 minutes, and if that's the
let
case.
me get this ready.
Okay,
How about that?
why don't we do that? Let me turn towards you, and you talk to them about the spices.
Okay, I will. So the spices are probably what make this even a little bit more interesting because, sorry about that.
Hey, Tom
You in there?
Gallagher. Yeah, I'll get you.
Okay. We have cinnamon, which we have a dash of cinnamon. We have a dash of cayenne pepper, which gives it a little bit of heat. There we
Yep.
go. Here.
And you know the 4 properties of food, right? Salt, heat, acid, and fat. With those 4 things, you can make anything. Tom says hi.
Hi,
And
Tom.
Brenda Principali asks, does this soup freeze well?
Yes, it actually freezes very well. And yeah, it's a good to portion it out and you freeze it. That's great. It's an easy thing to do. We have 1 bay leaf, which we'll put in later.
Okay.
Then we have one of the interesting things is we're putting in Tamarai soy sauce, which you're using a different type of soy sauce because you don't
Right.
like the soy, right?
Right. So I really am here, move over, buddy. No.
We're squeezing in.
It's a little tiny screen here, and there's not a lot of room for. I could actually stand under his chin. And
I know, right? There you
can see
go.
us perfectly. How's that? Okay, so I actually use a substitute. Hey, Vicky Polivos, I am so happy that you're here. Where have you been? I've been waiting for you to show up. So glad you're here. So we are using coconut aminos, which I use as a substitute for soy sauce. I've just recently done some research and done some learning on really how bad soy and soy products are for everybody. And so I have found that the coconut aminos, which has the same flavor as soy sauce, is a great substitute.
That's great to
And
know.
for health, you can find this at Whole Foods. You can even find it at Smith's. They have coconut aminos, probably a different brand. And this is called Coconut Secret, which is the original coconut aminos. So, and it's soy-free seasoning sauce. Tastes like soy sauce though. Okay, so tell them what.
So that's one of the interesting things. And then
Oh,
we
and
also
let me
have,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sure I am, right? Sure she is. Is what we're making today is Gypsy Stew. It's a vegan vegetarian stew, which is very, very hearty during these times. We are craving comfort food. Tom made this recipe during Super Bowl Sunday, and it was absolutely fantastic. Tom and I cook together all the time. This is
And
not,
had a blast.
Yes, this is not Tom, my husband, but this is Tom, my designer, who has helped me and will help me gut this kitchen and rebuild it, and he helped me build my very magical backyard, which is almost done.
Almost.
Which would have been done today, except the contractor didn't get here until 3 o'clock. He just walked in. I don't know where he's been all day. There you
Okay.
go. Okay, so
Now we're going to add a teaspoon of turmeric, to our, and I'm putting these in a bowl, by the way, so I can mix them up and get them all kind of together, because we're going to sprinkle them over what she's cooking right now. So there's our turmeric, teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of basil, which she had a very interesting, really good dry basil, which is lovely. We're going to add that, and then a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And that's it. That's
okay.
for
and I'm going to turn everybody around right now. Hey, Judy Evans. So nice to have you joining us. I love when I see new people pop in to Nanny Bubby's cooking session, where it's live at 3 p.m. with Nanny Bubby. But you can see that these onions and celery are cooking down. They got very hot. They're on a medium-high heat. And we are going to throw the garlic in. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and put the sweet potato in right away. Go ahead, you dump it in. Now we did chop our own sweet potato.
And you want to make it pretty hearty too, so that when you chop things up, keep them like in a hearty size, because it's it makes the soup really much more like.
So I'm adding some oil to this because it was starting to get very dry on the bottom. And Stacy is here. Or Sherry, sorry, Sherry, I'm reading kind of sideways there. Sherry Barassa, who is here every single day. Sherry, I'm asking you, did you watch the Stanley Tucci episode on CNN? Have you watched that?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, I saw. Oh, well, yeah.
Did you see a promo for
I
it?
did. I
Okay.
did. It looks very interesting.
Yes, so Stanley Tucci is traveling throughout Italy. And he is talking about all of the different things and all the different foods in Italy, and it's really...
I'm anxious to watch it.
You did a great job. You have to move over just a little bit. Yes, you did watch it, Sherry. Wasn't it fantastic? I know. There was somebody that popped on yesterday that had such an Italian middle name and last name. You think to yourself, oh my gosh, she popped in on the very day it made me start thinking about this episode. And he was so great. You have to watch it. It's on CNN.
Right.
So if you go on demand on CNN, it's
He has
called...
glasses like mine.
Yeah. Stanley Tucci Discovers Italy. So it's quite good. And he was talking about the San Marzano tomatoes, which I was telling everybody yesterday we planted in the garden here, but they just don't taste like the ones in Italy.
Yeah.
And it's because there's so many different... Yeah. There's no clay on my earth. My earth is organic, but there's no volcanic ash.
This process that we're doing right now should take about like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you want to go ahead and add in your seasonings.
Are you adding them now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me tilt everybody down. Okay. And Heather said, what a great Super Bowl party, and it was, because we had, even though it was very, very small, but we had shifts of people coming in, so the house was never really overloaded, and we had such a great time.
It was wonderful.
Yes, we had so much fun. Food went so fast. There we go. Oh, you can smell the cinnamon.
Right.
And the turmeric. It smells so good. You see how that's getting all brown and crispy? So, I think,
I know.
I really wish, there's so many things that I wish to share with you. Then I can move this camera around and show you all these different things, but the one thing I can't show you is the smell, right? I can't share that part of this with you. So I wish I could, because the cinnamon, the sweet potato, and the turmeric. Do you put the bay leaf in yet? No?
Not yet.
Not till the end.
No.
So if you're just joining us, we're making Gypsy Stew. This is Tom
Coming
Meyer,
back. Sorry.
not Tom Letitia.
I'm the other Tom.
Tom is my dear friend. We cook together all the time, and he just coincidentally also happens to be my designer. And so if you joined us when I was making a great party outside for my mother-in-law's 90th birthday, which at the end we had to cancel, but on that Friday we didn't know we were canceling it yet. Tom is who helped me design the tables and the flowers and the plates and help everything.
We make a great tag team.
We do. We have so much fun, especially when we travel, right?
Right.
We designed. We have a property in Laguna Beach, and Tom also helped with that. So this is starting to caramelize on the bottom. Do you think we need to add just a little bit of
You can. You're
stock?
okay with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
So we're gonna. This is my favorite vegan stock. You can see it's called Injun Plant Strong. It's a vegetable stock. I dearly miss the vegetable stock from Trader Joe's, which was like liquid gold, but they discontinued it. But this is the next best thing that I have found. So I'm going to shake this up, and we're just going to pour in just a little bit, just enough to keep the caramelization there and keep it from burning. There we go. And we can deglaze the pan with that, and it'll evaporate. Tom Gallagher says he loves sweet potatoes.
You'll love this
In
soup.
this recipe, it is just absolutely fantastic. Now, we've just been on a juice cleanse and a soup cleanse, which was the soup that I made yesterday on the show that you all joined me for, which, by the way, I doubled the lemon in that recipe, and that just made it so much more palatable and delicious. So I highly recommend, if you want to make that soup and you follow me as I was making it, that you just add double the lemon as I did. But tomorrow we're going to be breaking the cleanse and fast and going back to regular food, and we are going to do that with this Gypsy Stew, which is a great vegan and a light eating recipe to help our stomachs get used to starting to eat and nourish ourselves again, and also some grilled salmon. So that's a light and easy way to work your way back into eating. And Heather said that that was a fun 90th birthday party, and it was, even though nobody was able to come. But we were there. We were there. If we were healthy, we were there. So.
You could probably turn that down just a little bit.
Okay. There we go.
Perfect.
So the scent of the cinnamon has stayed, and the turmeric. Now, it's interesting because this is a 1994 recipe, and to be quite frank about this, I actually never really started hearing about turmeric in recipes until recent years, maybe 3-4 years ago.
Right, I know.
So it's interesting that from 1994, right?
Yep.
So what do we add next? I know
Well,
we're
once we get this to a point where the sweet potatoes start to turn just a little bit tender, then we're going to go ahead and add our red bell pepper, our tomatoes, and then let that cook for a little while, and then we need to simmer that and cover it for like 15 minutes. But we're going to push this along, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, not necessarily. If you all ask lots of questions like you did yesterday, we could be here for a while longer. So what are your questions about this Gypsy Stew? Because we have to kill time. Let's see. Jennifer Tuttle said, I know it's about cooking, but I love your headband. Thank you. It's about cooking, but then it's also about hair and makeup. You know that, right? Any of you who know me. So the headband comes from a place called Lele Sarducci. It's Lelesardoghi. But if you want to cheat a little bit, you can also find them on Amazon. So put in pearled headband. They come in pink, they come in beige, they come in ivory, they come in this tan color because it matches my shirt. What color do you have?
I don't have
You
one,
don't
my
have
dear.
one? Okay, well there you go. We share cooking, not headbands.
No. That's one thing we don't share.
Yes, we don't share that. So that's where you can get them, all on Amazon. I have tips for that. I should put that
Let's let them see what we're doing down here.
Yeah,
again.
I should put
All right?
that. There we go. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
I should put those headbands in my Game Changers on nannybubby.com, which, by the way, have any of you downloaded? You have to give me a 1 if you have downloaded the 19 essential herbs and spices for your kitchen. So that's what you want to do. You can go to nannybubby.com, look for Happy Kitchen, click on there, and you can get the Happy Spice cabinet. It's a free download, but if you don't have it, you definitely want to get it because it's 19 items that you need to have in order to be able to cook just about anything in your kitchen. So go to nannybubby.com/spices. So Cynthia's downloaded the Happy Spice cabinet. Anybody else? Anybody else? Have you?
We're supposed to be, yes, I have. We're supposed to be actually letting that sit in with a lid on so that it steams the sweet potatoes.
Okay. Well, the top is behind us here. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So we'll let that steam for just a minute. That'll help cook down the sweet potatoes. So let's just have a little conversation. So what are you finding? I think this will be an interesting conversation. Here, you can stand behind me like that. It's perfect. We're perfect size for each other here. What are you finding during COVID and the shutdown, your business as a designer really did not stop, did it? People were, what were you finding? What was the phenomena that you felt?
People were staying in their homes. People weren't traveling. People weren't doing things, and they found themselves sitting around looking at things that they'd always wanted to do in their houses and wanted to do. Another thing that was like, not ironic, but home offices. You have a new home office upstairs here, and it's all because you're working out of your house. And I have 3 other clients that did the same thing and built home offices in their houses. So I think that's remarkable about what happened, even just this last year.
I can feel that pain because I remember we had planned to do the backyard. We were supposed to start the backyard the day after the shutdown. And when the contractor showed up, I was like, we can't do this right now. I mean, I have no idea. None of us knew what was going to be happening the next day, the next week, the next month. So I canceled him, but about a month into the shutdown, I said to my husband, listen, Tom is telling me that he's busier than he's ever been.
It was. It was crazy.
And pretty soon, they're going to lift that full shutdown that we had in March.
Right.
And if I don't get in line now and tell that contractor I want to start, we're never going to be able to get this done. And if you remember, those of you who were watching, I had planted all of these seeds in January, and about March or April, all those seeds had started sprouting. And I said to my husband, listen, we're going to waste $25,000 worth of food if we don't get it in the ground. So we could either...
Pretty good motivation.
Yeah, so we could either put $25,000 into the garden and build the bed back there, or we're going to flush it down the toilet. And anyway, he bought that, so
we have a garden.
We have a garden. And then,
a beautiful garden.
And then we continued through to the patio, and it was the right timing. So Andy has the 19 herbs and spices sherry barasa. If you haven't done it yet, you need to go and download nannybubby.com/spices, and you'll be able to download it. Doug, I don't know if you've done it. nannybubby.com/spices. It's a free download. Up and coming is going to be the Happy Refrigerator. So we're accumulating that and putting that information together. So
there we go.
I hope you do it now. Look at that. So there we go. So again, we're making gypsy stew.
They're getting a little more tender?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Now you know this better than me. Does it need to continue to go just a little bit longer?
Nope, we're going to be okay.
Yeah?
We're going to be okay. Because we have to let it cook for a little while longer.
Okay.
So now,
Next steps.
We're adding 3/4 cup of chopped sweet red peppers, and also a cup of chopped fresh tomatoes.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's show the camera.
Yep.
There's the camera. There go the peppers. There we go. Kind of know what I'm doing these days after, show the camera. There we go. And I love these cutting boards because you can just take them and shove them. Yep, shove them right into the pot. And all of the juices from the tomatoes. So we're using what in the grocery store was called chopping tomatoes, which are Roma tomatoes. Of course, everything is organic. And look at that, how this is looking. And this is just the vegetables. And the vegetables are cooking down, actually making a great broth and juice. This is just really great. Oh, goodness. Okay, so there we go.
And there's our chickpeas.
Yep, a little bit farther in. There we go. They're drained and rinsed into the pot.
We got a cup and a half.
Yep. Oh, I just put 2 things. I didn't measure it. Oh, well. Okay. And what's next?
Then we let that kind of go for it and do its thing and get all mixed in there and cook a little bit up. And then we add our soy sauce, and we're good to go.
Okay. And how much soy sauce are you putting in?
It says a dash. Well, a tablespoon, excuse me.
Okay. All right. So just once again, if you just joined us, I know Jennifer Tuttle just joined us. Jennifer, did you download your Happy Spice cabinet? You need to do that. nannybubby.com/spices. Free download. I think you'll love the information. Instead of using soy sauce, because I know that soy is so dangerous to our bodies, to our system, to our organs, to everything about us, to our gut lining, and therefore our brain fog comes from bad gut lining. This is coconut aminos, and it's a substitute for soy sauce. Tastes the same. And are you ready?
Yep. Throw it in there.
1 tablespoon.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. And did we put the paprika in there?
Yes.
Yes, Jennifer, definitely go download that. nannybubby.com/spices. You'll love it. We worked really hard on putting it together. I'm really proud of it. Many of you actually gave me your very favorite spices, which I researched, and some of those spices actually made it into the list. So if you were one of those who had typed your spices into the list, go look and see if it's there, because you played a role in getting them there. Now, if you will, just type into the chat right now, tell me what your favorite refrigerator items are that you wouldn't live without, that have to be in your refrigerator. Type that. Tell me what those are. I'd love to know what your refrigerator is. Those of you that don't live in the Southwest, that live other places, probably don't have as much in your refrigerator as what we do here in the Southwest, but I have to put everything in my refrigerator. Ketchup, mustard, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce.
Yep.
Those are normally things that you would keep out of the refrigerator and just in the pantry, but we actually can't do that here. There's definitely, especially when the summer heat comes, even if the temperature in your house from air conditioning is 72 degrees,
right,
it dries out. It gets very rancid. So.
And that goes for even like brown sugar.
Oh, hey, Barry.
Do you keep your brown sugar in the refrigerator?
I do not, but I will tell you this. My daughter just gave to me a brown sugar keeper, which is, I actually am going to show it to you. If you stay here and talk to everybody, I'm going to go grab it. I really want to show you this because this is champagne mustard in the refrigerator. Good idea.
Yeah.
Let me go grab this. Say hello to everybody.
Okay. Hello, everyone. What we're doing now is we're just letting this cook down a little bit more. Because then we're going to add our stock and we're going to add that last thing. So we're just wanting to make sure that this gets a little tender, and then we'll add the soy sauce. So it's kind of steaming right now with our lid on, and then we're going to add our stock and we'll have Gypsy Stew. I know, and I hope you like it. It's a very, very hearty tasting soup as well. So hoping you will enjoy it. I'm going to turn this back down here, and I'm going to just show you a little bit more again. What do we look like here?
Well, unfortunately, I'll come over here next to you. And you
See what that's looking like?
Yeah, that's great. So unfortunately, everybody, I don't remember where I placed it. So my daughter, as a gift for my birthday, she asked, can you use canned garbanzo beans? We did.
We did.
We used the canned garbanzo beans. We drained them and rinsed them. So there's that. And martini olives. Oh, martini olives, blue cheese martini olives, absolutely. So my daughter gave me as a gift for my birthday, which comes right after the holidays, the gift of cleaning out and organizing my pantry. And so while she was doing that last Friday, she also ordered for me this little brown sugar keeper. So I can't remember where I put it because she ordered all of these plastic containers for me to put stuff into the pantry with. And I must have put it with one of those, and I don't remember where. But you're measuring out how much?
3 cups.
3? That's it?
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah.
Wow. I think I might have actually put the whole thing in there.
It's okay.
So that, I need to let Biggie out. Here, Biggie.
This keeps it really, really chunky and so it's not too liquidy. And when you do freeze it and then unthaw it, you can also add a little extra stock back in with it, which will just make it a little bit more fresh because it will thicken. There we go. What do you think?
Well, we can stall a lot of things, but when the pup starts barking to go out the door, you got to get him out the door. It's still Nanny Bubby's house. It's not just the kitchen at KLAS. I love this. So let's tip everything down and take a look at that. So one thing I was wondering about, what about the sweet paprika? Did you already put the paprika in?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we put the paprika in.
That went in with all the different spices.
Okay, and so how long are we going to, sorry about that.
That's okay.
How long are we going to let this cook?
You're going to let it cook for another good 10-15 minutes. Just
top on or top off?
You can put the top on because what you want to do is you want to just get all of your veggies now tender.
Uh-huh.
So that's going to take some time for the red peppers especially. The tomatoes are going to get really easy, but if you would look at the consistency of the sweet potato, it's still just a little dense, and so we want to make sure that it gets nice and soft.
Right here, let me grab this. Here, let's put it right over here, and you can see the there we go, that right there. Still very hard, right?
It's not awful, but it needs to just go that extra 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So before we sign off, everybody, let's just see if anybody has any questions. Hey, Marty, how are you? Marty Greenwood is here. That is so fantastic. Oh my gosh, Marty, there's lots of friends that are joining here every day, so I'm so glad that you're here. So nice to see you. Andy Lichty is here, who you see just above your name is Andrea Adabashi. That's Andy Lichty, and Marty Greenwood is right below you, Andy, there. So I hope you guys see the scroll as I do. It's so exciting for me because so many of my friends from junior high and high school have somehow found the cooking show on Facebook, and so that makes me so happy. So this is Tom, my designer and dear friend, and we are making Gypsy Stew today. We're just about ready to say goodbye and sign off. But I want to remind you, Marty, if you haven't done this, go to nannybubby.com/spices. Download the 19 essential herbs and spices that you need to have in your cabinet in order to cook just about everything. And we're working on our refrigerator, so if you have any ideas or hints about what you keep in your refrigerator besides champagne mustard and martini olives, I know there's more things out there, just type it in the chat. And for now, Mona is here. Hello, Mona. So nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're just getting ready to sign off from having made this Gypsy Stew. We're going to let it cook up. And tomorrow when we make it for dinner, when I reheat it, which is always better the day.
Always.
Always. No matter what soup it is, it's always better the next day. I will take a picture and post the recipe. So for now, let's all say this together. Are you ready?
Yep.
Go out and spread love like
butter.
butter. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. See you tomorrow, same
everyone.
time.